Hi, I'm Dana Daniels, and welcome to Show and Tell. This is my wife, Jane Daniels, who's going to assist me today. Say hi, Jane.
Hello.
Hello. My guest today is Mr. Todd Reis, and Todd does something absolutely amazing. You're not going to believe what you're going to see. I have never seen this before. He'll take a magazine, not a magazine, a comic book cover, and make it virtually like 3D.
Crazy awesome.
It's crazy awesome. He calls it a 3D sculpture. But you'll see, we're just gonna get right on this. Please welcome my guest, Mr. Todd Reis. Hi, Todd, are you there?
Yeah, hi Dana. Hi Jane.
Hi, Todd.
Hi, Todd. Great. Now, Todd, first of all, how did you get into this?
It started back in 1973. I was looking for some unusual Christmas gift for my family. I found arts and crafts kit for paper towel. And so the first ones I did were note cards, very small, very simple, 2 or 3 layers. And then I was applying it to comic book covers. I've always been a comic book fan, reader, collector, etc. And then in 1974, I went to the San Diego Comic-Con and saw another guy doing it also with comic books. So I will not claim that I'm the first one to apply it to comic books. But the early ones were made to fit into store-bought frames, very limited in the depth and the layers that they were. But what changed for me when I decided, what would it be if I tried to do better justice in 3D to the frame, to the picture, and not worry about the frame and then build a frame to fit it. So that's how it got deeper and deeper and deeper and more detailed. And
Fantastic. Let's show people what we're talking about. You graciously dropped off here at our house some of your work, and you're going to show some there, and then we also have video of some, because some of these pieces you no longer own, but you still have video of it. We're going to start off with Doctor Who. Okay, first of all, I didn't even know there was a Doctor Who comic book, but my wife is a huge Doctor Who fan.
Big time.
Yes, and this well, do we have the flat version of it? Okay, let's show the flat version of it. This is
where it came from.
This is it. This is the comic book. And then Todd changed it into this. Let me see if I get a full screen. And look at this.
Look at the depth of that.
It is just so...
That's exquisite.
It's awesome. Now, Todd, how do you do this? What's the procedure?
Well,
this is paper, right?
Yes, it is paper. That is a color laser copy, not the actual comic. Back when I first started, I did use actual comic covers where they were cheap and affordable, and it was no big deal at the time. Some collectors now consider that sacrilege for having me cut up something. But now I'm using either a direct scan of the cover, as in that one, or I will use a internet image that I download and print on color laser copy paper, heavy paper, about 60-pound paper. So it's a little bit thicker and semi-gloss to it. And the artist on that is Todd Reis. He also lives in Orange County.
Really?
Oh.
Wow.
Really?
Okay. Well, thank you, Jane.
Amazing, yes.
Now, you did some Disney stuff, which I'm always interested. And we have a Scrooge McDuck you dropped off here. So we're going to show Scrooge. This one is beautiful.
This is the flat one.
This is the flat version right here. I'm going to go full screen. There's the flat version. And then we're going to go and show you what he created here. Look at that.
Okay, so...
All the coins and everything are brought out, even with the door in the background with Donald Duck coming through it. A lot of little subjects. That's a personal favorite of mine. I built that up using the color laser copies, but I use actual comics on the top 2 layers.
Oh, so that's the real comic.
Comics.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's hard to... I think we... No, okay. All right. That's good. All right. Thanks, Jane.
Mm-hmm.
All right. And then we have... we don't have it here, but you gave us video of the Roger Rabbit one you made. That was just a stunning detail.
I just like the way he was being erased off, like part of his body isn't there.
Yeah, it's really great. And then the Nightmare Before Christmas, which you made for a friend of mine, I understand.
Yep, John George,
magician John George, who was in one of our episodes.
Yeah.
And I've been over at John's house. I don't remember seeing this, but maybe
It's rather small. It's smaller than most of the other 3Ds that I've been seeing, but I'm not sure. I gave it to him on frame, so I'm not sure if he's framed it yet or what the story is.
That's good. Well, it's really cool. And then The
You'll have a video
Rocketeer,
on that.
one of my favorite Disney movies, made in the early '90s. The Rocketeer, and I think that movie still holds up today.
Absolutely.
Yeah, just a great film, and so I really liked what you did with that too as well. That's really beautiful. And also the It's Magic show. Do we have
Yes,
It's Magic?
that's here.
Now we're going to bring in the Magic World. Now this is not a comic book, but you did a magic poster advertising the Milt Larson's It's Magic show. This is one of the posters, probably one of the more beautiful posters of an It's Magic show created.
Currently seen outside the parlor at the Magic Castle.
And this 3D display is, or this poster is?
The poster. It's a large version of the poster.
Really? Okay.
I always saw it and wondered what I could do with it, and so then I tried my hand at it.
Oh, okay.
And of course, Milt has looked at it and examined it very closely.
Okay, let me see if I can get
Get a close look at this.
and you can see the cards. Look at
All the details, all the dimensions.
Just jumps out at you. There we go. All right, we're gonna have to get a 3D of Luigi.
I know. Wow.
There we go. So there we go. It's Magic. Now, one of the ones you dropped off. Of course, I always love the James Bond movies, and you have one. Let's show the picture. It's a cartoon drawing of all the actors that played James Bond.
Yeah, that was drawn by Tom Richmond, a Mad Magazine artist, very much sort of like more.
Oh, it does look Mad Magazine.
I see the
Yeah.
style, yeah.
Yes. Okay. And now, give me the 3D thing. This is not on glass, so this is really cool. Look at this.
That one, being a Bond fan, I did that one for myself for the fun of it. Most of what I do are client orders, but this done, I did in between every few orders, I do something fun for myself.
Yeah. Oh, it looks really cool. I love it. Oh, George Lisenby, I think what he did one.
Yes, on
Yeah.
Majesty's Secret Service.
Yeah, and then a couple of these guys only did
And Timothy Dalton.
he did only two movies. Yeah.
Two of them, right?
Yeah. That's amazing. Now I'm gonna move over to Batman. We're going to go DC Comics here. The guys in the front, it's all has so much dimension to it. It's amazing.
A lot of subtle details that I put in that I've best seen with your own eyes.
Yes.
Yes. Yeah, it's stuff you wouldn't even really notice. And then we have what else do we have?
The more you look, the more you see.
I didn't see a flat version of that
No.
one.
It's
Now
got,
that is one I did back in 1978 or 9 or so, and that had actual comic covers on that one. Nowadays, I also use a special museum non-glare glass, so we don't get quite as much reflection. Like
Yeah. So you did it. Yeah. So you did. You said you did a crossover, Superman and Spider-Man. There's also the Batman and the Hulk crossover you did.
Crossover. That was for a client back east that I did that for.
I didn't know that they did crossovers like that in the comics. I read comics when I was a kid, but I don't remember those. But that's a great idea. Although I think, come on, Batman and the Hulk, who's gonna win? I mean, really, the Hulk, right? Who won the comic? Did you read it? I don't remember.
Well, I'm sure Batman outsmarted the Hulk is probably what happened, but it's been years since I've actually read the comic.
That's great, yeah, but I don't know what the Hulk's weaknesses are, so that's cool though, really neat. Wonder Woman. That's DC. Let's show that one.
This is unbelievable.
Okay, this one has so much detail.
Seeing this in person is amazing.
And that has a lot of Escher effects. The artist George Perez has a lot of people going every which way on that, where very much like an Escher drawing. And the bubbles alone took me about 7 hours. You're going to show a video on that or something maybe. But that I did in 1995, 96 or so, and that used the original comic at that point. I did do some restoration on it in 2013, But basically, my work has stood the test of time. If anything has happened, they've gotten color faded, depending on where people have put them in the sun.
Oh, wow. Well, they have the, that glass now.
Right.
Prevents it from being faded, too. If you
Exactly.
look at
Which
my
is
posters
what-
back here, my Golden Horseshoe poster has that special glass where it doesn't fade. But my Disneyland train one, we did not put that glass, and now it's disappearing. Superman. Some of the ones you made for Superman. We got video of those that you sent me, and they were just amazing. And we can you tell us about those?
If I knew which one, I've done so many. I've done at least over a dozen Superman-related ones.
Yeah, well, we're just we'll show a few videos of some of the ones.
Well, you have the Superman versus Spider-Man. That's a very large, very detailed one. That one to a client in Mississippi who now has encased in a plexiglass cube instead of having it framed so in the cube you can see all around it.
Wow! Wow! Really? That's a neat idea.
Really. Back in 1993, I don't think you have any of the ones I have, but in 93, DC killed off Superman. Their sales went through the roof, and so they hired me to do 12 shadow boxes of 4 different Superman covers as special gifts for the creative team.
Wow.
Yeah.
So you've met a few people, like Bob Crane, when you drew Batman.
Not Bob. Kane.
Bob Kane. Bob Crane's the Hogan's Hero. I'm sorry.
Right.
Bravo! Clink! So Bob Kane, yeah. So when you did you gave him one of your drawings?
Yes, it was back in 1978, one of my early 3Ds, but it was first appearance of Batman on Detective Comics 27. It's a great big tabloid reprint. The photo there is of him holding it in San Diego in 1978.
Wow. Let's see, and then Supergirl. The Supergirl one's really good because the hair is flying and it's really dimensional, and she's coming out. The ones that really are striking are ones where the characters are really coming out of the screen.
Exactly.
Yeah. So that's a really great one.
And that was done for a client back east last fall. Did that last in September.
Oh, okay. So that's a recent one.
Yes.
Okay. And also, I love Captain America. He's one of my favorites. And then some of the Captain America ones you had with the shield and the rays hitting the shield. That one's fantastic. Yeah, it was great. Is that a recent one or?
That also was last summer. I had got the order in May of last year, and that was just about the same time Mike Zeck, who drew it back in 1980, was at a local comic convention on Ontario Comic-Con Revolution in Ontario, California. So I had him sign one of the layers that I was going to use to incorporate into the 3D. He and I are old friends, so he was familiar with my work.
How long does it take you to? I'm sorry. How long does it take you to make one of these, generally?
The average is 2 months, but I usually work on them in rotation with 2 or 3 at your other projects, not all at the same time, unless there is a tight deadline and somebody needs it ASAP or in a month for a birthday present or something like that.
Oh, wow.
But the average is about 2 to 3 months, and there is one X-Men project I talked about that's going on, started about a year ago, but it's a very large 4-cover X-Men cover being put all together for a client in New Jersey. But
hey, have you ever thought about doing some of the recent Marvel movie posters?
Yeah, there are a lot of collages to that, but I've never really saw one that recently said that's gotta do.
Okay, so they gotta kind of talk to you.
Knock my socks off, yeah.
Right. Okay, that's interesting. Because that'd be kind of fun to see some, the 3D ones with the current actors playing those parts. And you got Thor. Thor was a fun one. One of the Thor ones that you sent a video of.
We have the one with Beta Ray Bill, who became Thor in issue 337.
Yes.
And then there's another Thor where he's teamed up with the real Thor, or the Thor we all know and love, on issue 350.
Great. And then the last one I want to talk about is the Avengers.
Yes.
Yeah, that you had. That was a really cool one with the Avengers. I like it.
There was one with the Impossible Man, and then there's one where Ant-Man is on the Arrow and being shot by Hawkeye.
Wow.
And they actually use that scene in the movie Captain America Civil War.
Yeah. Oh, is that where they got it from, the comics, huh?
They got it from the comic. Comic was first.
Oh, that's interesting. That's great that they utilize that. So that's, man, these are all fantastic. Are there, what's your favorite? Out of all the ones you've done, do you have a favorite?
Too many. Too many. You know, it might be the one I'm currently working on. The Uncle Scrooges, the Animal Fan that you've already seen. Those are personal favorites. I've done a few collages that have been different. If I do anything new, a challenge, I have yet to come up with a new collage idea, but I haven't done those since the 70s or 80s. But there was one artist named Jim Aparo. I did a collage for him that was all the characters that he was drawing for DC at the time. I did not send you any photos of that. But personal favorites, the Supergirl was a recent one. Like I said, that also is a personal favorite.
Yeah.
There was one Batman one that I did for John Armstrong where it's a comic book from the 40s. And it's Batman fighting the Joker and all these playing cards go all over the place.
Oh,
I've got
wow.
a video of that one.
A lot of detail.
Right.
That John Armstrong, magician, has.
Okay. Well, that's great. Hey, Todd, thanks for doing this. This is great. This is going to be a fun episode. I can't wait to put it out, and I appreciate you sharing all your work. I know you had tons more. We only have a small amount of time to show this, but hey, where can people go and see your rest of your collection?
Oh, the Facebook page, I have my fan page is where I get most of my business. The unique 3D shadow box art of Todd Reis. And look for that on Facebook, you'll find it. Or even if you probably just look for 3D, you might find my name. I have a lot of the videos and photos there. Most people see what I do and then they order something down the road, something that means special to them. So, and about 90% of the 3Ds I make are client orders.
Hey, thanks again for doing this, and
Great.
really appreciate you sharing what you do. It's really...
I appreciate you taking the time doing so.
Such a treat.
And watching a lot of your show and tells.
Well, that's our show. Hey, everybody say goodbye to Todd.
Bye, Todd.
Bye.
Remain seated, please. Permanecer sentados, por favor.